Nanya kwan na mahwe ibinim so comments ntina matwen aben afidie no emre bi ase na meka no medamase pa se I never knew say Ghana sa ye wade bi a ye mese se titru adisumu ani apakosemu eyem pa na binim so opepa se ompese omoboa ema nipa no hu bede forum opportunity that me free sa madwuma di yase no ena amame hu se actually sa Ghana for bebre omo pe bibia tie enye se be wo masum na ye wo mode entemre bi no me ba ana aniage na me damase flatado maton kan wa join me now anse na me free the usual adwumadi na ase no asem bi enu emfa nipa ho enti asem bi wo ho no ma efa me ho efa ye nyina about the daddy lumba case no I was me nyu bi a me ba me betna na me dabi I don't do that. Someone who said me yeah me submission me presentation na me yeah of civility and maturity and sabe ka frache nya o ma misra me ka yoyo fu ni bi daddy lumba asem no judge no ama me judgment if you know ayeye full judgment na ma de. But as a lawyer, of course, in my candid opinion, I'm comfortable with the judgment. In my candid opinion, my personal opinion, I could say as a work or so on one year as a man dikuna. And other brony also counterclaimed. So a lawyer for you can say counterclaim, just on so. Or Jamanso no to no or so she also counterclaimed. Babe can fidie so by ye, but Bikuran in counterclaim, Bikuran take counterclaim. But whichever way, she also counterclaimed. So cotton on Cassoya yere. I don't know the day cotton on Cassa. Baby na o mi na o mo ya yere nti o mtim di kuna personally whether the court no show the marriage we to no new into no no we to no or be mi no be ya yere as a bitim di kuna personally I admire that line of action, that decision. I may be wrong, menka say me I may be right, menka say me eti. And so looking at the circumstances of the case. But I don't say when you kuna ware na mo awade krata miribia bebeka say obi be bata ho a bebeka say no bata ho na yire. In law, each case must be considered on its own merit. Now lawyer for person say asembia safwan untimi mfa yini pono bia asembia safwa asembia pono e wona safwa asembia pono e wona safwa ntimu amogetum se na se no me ma kire madwene anya temdidie me chese na judge na kan no looking at the facts and the circumstances. Mejitum senior judge in a can. Although may decide to appeal, or Akosia may decide to appeal. There's nothing wrong. You are watching me from Abuja, no, Madase. There is nothing wrong. The BBN said, BBN. But interesting. aspect of case we no emse nipa bebre enim ne se nsama no kase bia bapa wo na amse omo file no na no Jordan se na otwene ochina you are we from US so me na say kase na aba no enu nie the Bempoma Yapoku and ebinim kan wo ye lumba nua ane lumba wo fase par yes okay me that's why I watch it from Spain o mom so akosamane abusia panyini and I'm surprised say we no de wo mom ayi mfidie no nyina wo mom kan kiro mo amutie mi no me kama mwate say it has come to my knowledge and attention. Say, lumba nuyama, any lumba wofa ya pokunu. Wama samay abusia penyini no. It is very, very important. Na, yemi say, after judgment na no. Ekwesi nura abusia penyini no call UTV no. I mean, I'm coming, you see, obi ante. But I'm speaking authoritatively as a lawyer. Lawyer, no, you're a friend, George Opon. George Opon, no, Samay. Was Samay, Busia Penino. Was Samay, home now, the Lumba, Funu, a one. And a cow bank. This is very, very important. And because, a dobro nene, I could just say, why didn't you hear? But you kuna, dear. Me you kuna, dear. Be we die hwan be ye hwan be organize ye hwan be de funu no lumba nuama eno na wofa wo masaman abushe payini. You know, in law say you can family you were the vital family and the immediate family. Akanfo no yawo abusua no kakraka na yawo abusua no fia. The immediate family, if okay olenu any woodmana olenu ni woodman okay, and most of the books okay olenu woodman, you talk about Kloje, you talk about Dankwa Buzier's book. The wider family and the immediate family. The immediate family no chocho kwikasa meka chocho mucho. And in law and by the account customer chocho mucho no nsan ya kakrakafo no ma. Chocho mucho no nsan ya kakrakafo no ma. Wider no ma. And therefore, the issue now, no, ya pokunu ne bempoma no much say woman ye twetwemu to lumba. And therefore, lumba ye nhyehyeye baby abebe teta no, baby abebe bonsa, when e behwe sika so no ye twetwemu no. It is not the wider abusia panyini kofi usu or usu no edano no. Being having you meda me boa ngomasua se atiefo mo bete ne yekoso because as of enran adwono ana wo mo ye UTV program no, nobody mention it. Wo man wo mo host wo man wo nobody mention it, and I even don't know me nyim say bi kra na papa she do kra ya we. So for the consumption me come mo nyina mo atese amanso carry bi da ho na lawyer George upon cry application for injunction. Ebeba so 8th December. 8th December. Now omo de injunction be across several from funeral home no. Enti funeral home no ntimi nyi funu no ma obia. Nobody. This is without prejudice. Without prejudice, Mr. Wa kosia se wa do bruni ho team Akosua Sawa o team Odobroni o team Abusua Panyin o team Kwajopoku o me de that prejudice men come bia men kan tan bia ehia because it's an opportunity amenya ese me magana fo bebere mu because of run adwono na wa wo hwe UTV program no wa adwene ne say oh 13 December no de kra ebeba so. I am saying it authoritatively without prejudice. So amount so no crowd them say Tyree perhaps may end at the Supreme Court. Nti nyasem ketwa eno na mede emerewe for education and a lawyer no support minimum and for everybody so be we say na san ye wi odobruni ene Akosua Sawa asem na me maka se me de me peneso eye me maka se me nko ade mreye that decision no but the other aspect of it is me mama sote something is happening because ebinum ma ebinum hu ne yakoso omo ye no na no nti ba ukuada no na o ma sevo eti na no fie da na omo ye wieye no apara so when we were interviewing the Abusua Panyin no you should have said it. When we were interviewing Papa, she should have said it. When we were interviewing lawyer for Akosua Sawa, na is a lawyer no so nanka is okay. Mo mo interview Team Odobroni legal team. That's almost omoka. Because they are away. All of them are away. None. Obien to me can't tell so on your way. Nanu fear the Abusua Panyin no massa. Anyway, so for the consumption of a month for na near America ama mason at maybe I don't take his size over be we say or Switzerland say business show me rack. Hey, I see. O show me rack and everything Yankopo ase and Danyamia say Danyakopo ase Nyame som kan or Iraq. So that is it. That is the first issue. The next issue me kra no ade ba kwa chima dwene ne say well I stand to be educated. Me te say asem no ko otumfo asante hene ho. No otumfo asante hene de ma dade so aba. Na niesi no. O ma bo asante hene ma ne de. It's also an issue. Huh? It's also an issue. Obviously, can an appeal change the issue? No, I don't want to go there. Kasai, my the remember me here and say, I said, Yama, ye who say, among some Tyrene, you could have a frasy, and Tyrene, a frasy and cradia. Now they have filed an application to injunct the funeral home, injunct Abusua Panyin. So I don't grant a Tyrene. Min kan wasem adishade enana mpese. So that is it. But let me go on to the coup ewo Guinea-Bissau. And I said it on Rainbow Radio. Bissau fresh evidence on my fresh evidence in law. It will be difficult to be given the opportunity so by my fresh evidence. Again, say but there are certain exceptional circumstances. And for sir, yes, dear Mama yam fa yan coho. Possible, but now let's talk about the coup in Guinea-Bissau. I Rainbow Radio frame my comment. If you say in history, and some ever Jesus Christ crown. Na ye kasa bi there. Those who make peaceful change impossible, they make violent change inevitable. Na eyemi hu se sabi o mesrameka. Ebinum say wa mo ye bloggers, ebinum say you can asem say ya. then hey, no on sua de that blogger na okasa de na woka ku asem no on sua de onima de ompem huye. That has been the position of humanity. Those who make peaceful change impossible, they make violent change inevitable. Niki no say ba bem pese bem mansesa nsakiraye eba na be gina so ye tintintininti tawe no se bem mansesa nsakira maboko asundwe mu bediyone eba fi tina mpanfo bu wi se nyodi ahwede eba fi no na de mwansena bae ita yesu ansana beba wu yesu 2000 yesu be 2025 years never. That is the position of the law. So please, Mr. Blogger, I can't say no. I am diatem. Say I can't cool. Please, you are a blogger. In the French Revolution of 1789 or no, near the ancient regime, Louis XVI aussi l'état c'est moi, manana ya media. At the revolution by in Ghana by 1964-65 no more to make Ghana one party state. And in the 1966 coup no a buy. In the UK there have been an English revolution before 1200 English revolution. Mr. Blogger BBC Tiye na monya mo blogger asem na mo je chese motewa chese wo abandon. In England there have been an English revolution. In America there have been a revolution, American War of Independence. War revolution, War of Independence no yakunu wiase fede ansana ba wu Yesu. Ansana ye wo Yesu ne ye wo Yesu su wiye ene so egusu sa dabia babibia enti ote service o could there will be a thing of the past, will be a thing of the past, but ya na ye mesere so the ahwede abafie nko ade a wansana baba, whether it is Asia, whether it is Africa, whether look ayeda na America when Donald Trump lost ayedena the capital anka na nyaku na ebinum koye sabe blogger wanya bundle nti Obiri Boahen kasa chese ompe bibia ti afrimoti se ti nsemu na oka please bundle na wo no ma wonya twompianta wo na ye me no kasa nyina na nyina yeguso da so sua okositi TV or program you are interview paying for. Tambia I follow it. I follow it. Me tie paying for. I learn. Nano other than I'm so called Larabanga villager, Larabanga town. Yamawin si Christo asonda no. Misuya ye mekanye Larabanga just about 2-3 days ago na mekane ye. Yes you can. Wo de why blogger when you bando boso me bi no bi atwa sika bi atum sabi wo mpese obesua de wo mpese obehu ade please learn. So in Guinea-Bissau now ababa da di say sa whichever way you look at it I am just right. I never said it's a Kusi capital. Me so when you see any comments about near jelly bin. It looked like there was going to be a coup. So yes, in Sri Lanka, in Philippines, Marcos, everywhere. So many know who is at Tanzania, there can be a coup. Mama who is in Uganda, Bobby Wine, or Kwa, Nano. Now that woman to my Bobby Wine supporters be. So there's a possibility that there can be a coup in Uganda. There's a possibility that there can be a coup in Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire. the term now so and what's the constitution. When the country said they can never, because what's the constitution? In Guinea there was a coup. So please answer a baby we yes. Now be seen there all over the world. What I say? All over the world. So please, when we talk about Guinea, peace out, whether it was say a year to say be shared, and I be shared that the campaign manager, no a finance minister, or not a prime minister. But the bottom line is that there's a change of government, or there was a change of government in Guinea-Bissau, and it was not through the ballot box. In fact, Cameroon cried through the ballot box. Cuba, Cameroon, Nipa Bibli Bejetu. And natural man, Wakwa Gambia. The position is that. In Tanzania, I want to show position for the NATO. Near to grant a Guinea Bissau, now battle, now president, no Olusu. Or no one who said no Lusuna Papa. He made that arrangement. But whether that one is true or not, the bottom line is that there's a change of government in Guinea Bissau. And this change of government, those who make peaceful change impossible, they make violent change inevitable. And like I said, it is somebody only owns young woman, only woman. No, it is a coup there to be a thing of the past all over the Obua. Obua. Even in Turkey, almighty Turkey, the security yet tightening. About 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, Turkey, people plan to stage a coup in Turkey. Mr. Blogger, Turkey no kura America menim so in country na your friend Turkey no. So ya ka me betena ha me kasa sapanyini me kasa badwemba me tu amanfofo me kasa. I mean, oh, have a lifestyle, a very simple principle, honest. This only me lifestyle. Yes, obesity is just Turkey. Yeah, okay, obesity 2016. Obiama me Turkey the MSS 2016. So ya ba yes you dey send me mission free bi wono sa na bi susu free. Minimum bi wo Germany anytime I meba bia papa yo ye bia na wajai. No oti. Because me chirade pa me kasa chirade. So the cool no aspect na me. So it's a lesson. It is a lesson for all of us in Africa. Yes, you be been free more. Because you are going to say, Cameroon. You are going to say, make a cite example. Or Nigeria say, look, Bachi Nipa, Bedenakosie, Fesika Branye Nyano, Bachi Nipa. Just 2 weeks ago, Ukakabo Manipa ya abducted woman in Nigeria, bedu be 400. Nipa ya abducted woman, ya kidnap woman, bedu 400. Now say, your man in the Bachi Nipa, Bedebesi. Fesi kabra ve kumbi be sha sondana be yewe e tese ni pa ni tese na ye de ye ho ma ti ni busa bo ye ho ba no se benche ye na so ntimi mo ye ho ba no de ya eni ye na ye. I've never said so, but me ya just Tinubu must be very, very careful. The Nigerian government must be very, very careful. Then ya sheye, because ya nya sheye ya be yante asam papa from Nigeria. Obi carry obi adidi obi atem. Go and look at Tinubu's campaign. Oye no mrebi. Tinubu num they were all accusing Jonathan Goodluck. Abduction, eyewe, ekoso, eyewe. I can't be in Nigeria photo about Pam Jonathan Goodluck. I can't be in Nigeria photo about Pam Jonathan Goodluck. And I Tinubu predecessor Buhari by so this is common sense, this is common knowledge. This is common sense. This is common knowledge. Or go to Venezuela. Look at what is happening in Venezuela. Maduro, question me boss of Venezuela. Mr. Blogger, what Venezuela didn't crowd? I can't know church did the atom. Mr. Blogger, what Venezuela didn't? I mean, all over the world. It's a serious thing. So please, my advice is that Let's make peaceful change possible. No, you may not like Ghana, Ghana, dear, yeah. We be the 20 and no way, but this is good. Comparatively, generally, Ghana, you're far ahead of a lot of places. Far. So comparatively, Ghana is good. But once you have the opportunity to vote and to be voted for, but the fact that Ghana is good doesn't mean say, Ebia, Mesro, Netambia Yama Yetinyam, then Yenye. No, in 1966, when Kwame Nkrumah was Oko Hanoi, no, on Zuarungu, no. Kwame Nkrumah says Zuarungu can home Kwan dear. Obia Intimi been to know. Then when the announcement came, say, oh, my cool at 2 Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah kase Azwarungu sani pa betima yeku atumi. We don't need to be complacent. Mama yamamra ni adwuma and all over Africa. When the name say Arab Spring betima aba. Arab Spring abrantie ba ko pe o de petrol gu no ho. Ehweye o mo kosie no amanfo se ye start here from Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Arab Spring and Libya. All over. It's Arab Spring spread the call. Syria. Whoever thought, say, Assad of Syria. Bah! Now there will be a revolution to kick him out. Assad. Our bankers. But now we are so more arms power 182 countries, you know. Open by 50 countries or more arms power na Assad account. And so Assad of all people of Syria, and then we're going to call Russia. So we need to learn, we need to study, we need to broaden our horizon. Let's just say blogger when you bandola who church Assad of Syria, what is Syria in cry? And also, but be some question be say, so that is what I've been saying. And we need to be very careful. And maybe I will still support the Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. With my knowledge and my experience. My knowledge, experience, enemy nimdi, enemy nyamsuru. And the Burkina Faso, koshe. And the Burkina G20 or Mushia was South Africa. I know I'm person invited Burkina Faso. G20. And the koshe Burkina Faso. Serious improvement. Ninkase baby, na minkase the policies in Anampe. And the koshe Mali. And the koshe Niger. And the America. Conditions, you know, you're not saying you're 12 banners, there will be a coup. Take it or leave it. And that has been a position and something Yankopon crab all we issue. Pia motus me that was it. Etinania meka ama ubia atino. I don't know meka ahinsem no manwie na mekoye na meka akwamu ahinsem na me kan se akwamu. Bakonya na bedi no mewo yansra asefo ene ya botwe asefo 1500 akwamunya wo first chief nana agent kokobo 1500 nana agent kokobo 1500 nana the first kwafo hene akwamufo hene your friend nana agent kokobo 1500. So from 1500 to 1733 no nyina no ye be fa no say yansrefo nko abedi kofia koto ne die akonya no because abedi kofia koto ne die egina akonya abedi ne die ya kasakwa matiasie. So moving from atimokwa to nyina wase no nyina to 1500 no cross ba you see what na be hia me ya se wa twoba you see ya se wa twoba you see what after say ma ya bobo ano where they just for and that's what they see ya se wa twoba number. So in 1733 no na omo akuapemfo no ne pam wo mo, and like I said akuapemfo no had support from Achimabuakwa. No na omu wie ye no a omo sign the Bosoma said the Abutachi Accord. Omo ba ha no so no a omo betena ano na binim wo ho aboabofo no na beye yabotwe asefo, and they have been alternating nkonya no we di baba badi pa na ye ba ye bedia na yansere abrade aduana abusua. So first 1500 no ono no ye yansere agenkokobo no abrade aduana abusua. Now it came to the point from 1883 to 1992 no kra no babedi ye no ba ko di 55 years kwafa koto ba ko di 55 years kwafa koto no di 55 years no wo ya butwa busuam na ma me de ago no fi ya butwa abusuam ma ho se kwawni bi di bibia meba ho na wo pre wo kwawo meba kwawo wo pre wo meba ho se kakra ware kwawo. So the as you are talking now no kwafa kuto no osisia no ya butwi, and like I said me gidi se ye beto yi no wa rehemu se in the foreseeable future man wo so munaso me nka se bonisi am ebeba yansere abusuafo no because yansere no chiramatin bi bedi na chiramatin free ho na akoto wai abai ndi akoto we no so free ho a. In fact, there was an instance obi diye na me ma me kra from Volta ever but na papa na ya abutwi abusuafo bia but odi akonya no ema no you have the akwamufo no bia omo whether it is ya abutwi or ya answer, you all agree, history agrees that aduanafo and okoka binuma sam no better ma wonka. I am saying that mean by 1500 agenkokobo obedi akonya 1500 no wo de ba esumenya aduanafo no a agenkokobo kura be na kanso wa kura aduana no 1500 agenkokobo no kura be na because 1300 nyina na obenya aduanafo ni ngisa aduana ni bi ba 1630 1640 ya. Oh yeah, nanachi. And some don't want to accept this fact. Whether they will accept it or do not accept it is immaterial. We are learning and moving forward. And perhaps let me close the chapter for Kwamu. Send a bear meeting about Kwawu for the answer. Kwawu no or more chrono and no answer. Erroneously me can say kwuni enkonko enkoko na de nkonko kwawufo no population no fakese no ya adanse asantefo in this context ma ura asante wi na masana te na me da adanse aka adanse asante korongo amachi de dino achim omo oyi konongo fo no nyagoko fo no omo odini bi asante achim good me that's ebinim so ye sechere kwa fo no binim ye sechere. And in this context, the secular people are the mampong. Secular people are the mampong. And obviously, I really like history. The secular people are mampong. So that is the cause. Now, wamo kro, aya wamo ahin kro no, enyem koko, enyem prayeso, enyem kwatia, enye obome. A friend abini woman ahinkru traditional friend abini. That is the seat of the tradition. So obomen son said you mpaye son said you nkwatia son said you woman traditional seat the saying abini. Now, when we see him, that's a I think a Japan. I think so. No, no, Kwahine. But whichever way, with your father said Kwahina, no, your Kwahine, and son at 2025 years. Nah, yeah, I agree. Yes, I've come across that history. Nyoka say binim so ni doma for one, I agree. I've heard of that fact. I've heard of that, but me improve further. Improve. You are right. Me that's it. Any addition there or the term say woman doma force binum so the remnants because I know and your money na no omo kwa bia wo obomen for no ye asumijafo ena mampon akrofo sofo nso so bi wo enti na professor Kosa maybe you pray akunya no bi no. So I mean, yeah, you're right. Well, can I agree. But let me go on. Me that say addition there. So I think that the separate a Japan no problem was union or ADB no a board member no NBC na conference by. I don't want to go into that too much, but the bottom line is that I think he had a problem there. And then he later refunded the money to the person. Not just a binumu, say umbituno. A kofuasem. But near me, person chance in law. So, person two man here as a so called the Judicial Committee of the Regional House of Chiefs. So, person utu atenamkunya na onye man here. We call the Judicial Committee of the Traditional Council. In law, you go to the Judicial Committee of the Regional House of Chiefs. We call Judicial Committee of the Regional House of Chiefs. Na a man henasem. We call the Judicial Committee of the Traditional Council. Na ye akonya substitute kuruntre jase ankobia a champion apega we a substitute. That is it. Now we got judicial and the law has recognized another marana sana jefofro bia tum bio. Marana the invocation of an oath. Marana giatum. Now remember the invocation of an oath. Bia bechem kuruntre bechem jase bechem ankobia bechem chidom bechem we na obi pese obedi kuruntre jase ankobia we na pese wo challenge ya one try officially one try someone so no but say mika bechem hine mpete ane breme meka bechem hine mpete ane breme se wodi krontre anajase akonya na enyeyi onye de hye. It is an invocation marana gitum meka bechem hine mpete ane breme marana gitum. Now Mame nsa na ma bi dua ya nkwanta meka dua ya nkwanta akonya fiada o ka fiada eye ntam dua ya nkwanta eye fiada emra no be no so de aboso the traditional it will set up a judicial committee. That is also another form of invocation which has been accepted by the Supreme Court. The ya adutwumwa case war Kenya say ana number 1 and number 2 no confuse me o say Kofi ho o say Kofi Adru me Kenya say no hema no e kantam so baby bebre no e betima ya paramount chief but omo be kantam ama nako anko the judicial committee of the regional church but otim kantam me ka otum fontan kese e possible mrano gitum manhene ye be di bi kro bi so manhene ora me ka otum fontan kese wu ntimu nni akonya no onya de hye onzo so bere ya chim de joram de apeso e sufficient and you have that position in the Kenya case no a adutwumwa no case na ko through Supreme Court enyame meka. And therefore say I said this Kumasi mpotemu ha na yakonya sam na kwaka say meka mpotemu ha eso hu ba bi awo so ben bantama wo tafo a wo sum tafo akunya na say kwaka say meka bantama hene ntwoma afata yantam kase pa no meka nkyere mu yo na disuade a yesu ntene meka nsa no nyese me bo mitim keke dua ya nkwanta de am kan me mo mitim bechem de na meka me mo mitim otum frontam kase no me mo mitim bantama hene ntwoma meka no me mo mitim me mo mitim pepe ni ho pen ni ho krata ni ho ehya awa wow de onim Ghana abakosem no tim betana se pepe ni ho pen ni ho krata ni ho bibibi ni ho yanka enye ga nya ye kire nya homaso. So fast forward obetima ka say me kata pa hen baako ani so yentam me kata pa hen baako yentam me ka kiresia hen agewudin ya woda yentam me ka akiresia hen agewudin ya woda yentam. The law accepts that. Me mo meeting can me country osa. Can me can do ma say we are do ma say kwasi da eyentam. Me can we are do ma say kwasi da eyentam. It is obedi before krom hino adantie o kwatiro hin ora me can do ma say hene we are kwasi da say Udi krontiri hene anajase anankobia enye ye wonya de hye wo ye donko udi enye ya a invocation and oppression. The judicial committee must go into that. That is also acceptable. Maybe in future meba be kan ntam so e be take ye one day or so because ntam so hinya pa enam se binum nte kura da se bantum ahene ntam ye ntwoma. The way that next time no me we antwoma na metro me ntia be ntwoma, but I'm saying it authoritatively say bantuma hen ntwoma ntam ntwoma tafo Kumasi tafo me ka tafo hen ntam nwa me ka Kumasi tafo hen ntam nwa ntam kese pa anka menum bi anka we ya me kan ntam ho asem ne bisi ha because ntam no de anya asem ketuo ntam no enya asem ketewa sana ayifo wo achimambu akwa amza achimambu akwa ye ukuyada ne mpete uka achimambu akwa ukuyada ne mpete ne bibisi wo nka wo no bia na no ogunsa enna de na me kan de ehumpa but addition I'm giving education. I am giving education. So like kwa udi no yiraye me sana ba kwa ubi so the omo yese omo ne be hia omo hia ye ne bere ba atu no ne be de hena foforo si so anti kwa umman hena no or court, the regional Senemacano, a regional House of Judicial Committee. Oh yeah, no some application for injunction. And one more German. I agree. I perfectly agree with the regional House Judicial Committee. No, because you know, in some no, Sahene no nyaya kunya no, Sahene no ntu ono ano ho so, so hene no amodam, so hene no nwuya, akonya bia no e vacant sa. The akonya becomes vacant when we have these grounds. And the kwauda sebre akwa mo Japan de no grounds we bia no onwuye ontu no ho so onye we nti akonya no nye vacant. And in law there can never be occasion na nipa mienu ti akonya baako so at a given time. And there should never be occasion na nipa mienu ti akonya so akonya baako so at a given time. That is the position of the law. You cannot in law say as against that Sebre Japan, because that Sebre Japan is the chief, the paramount chief, the gazetted chief. And once he has been gazetted, there's a presumption and a conclusive, a rebuttable, but he has been gazetted. Most of the time, I want you to say, "Mo fa kwanso," and I'm de akwa mo Japan si henne. Mo tu na mamara kwanso amako judicial committee ana dabi. Other only akonya no bi waja di dabi. Wow dabi. Wa bodam dabi. Enti famara kwanso na si henne. Famara kwanso na tu henne. From Marakwan to see him, from Marakwan to him. Madam, say, what was a Diana history na a Sumija, Diana? Yes, I agree. A Diana PC in a Sumija. I was just come to that. As I may yet call for Diano. Go for ever was a cabin, baby, or Ghana, Haya. Ah, by a bit Geoffort, Madame for. And at the same. Bebre ya menamfo Geoffort madam for omo Asalam Down Hotel omo ya menamfo second son akoto bamfo no namfo no omo kwafo anas kames kwafo nti me ka ba konya sama mesro mo ma men ensipo enye sa menamfo no mehia ba beka se wo kan ya se wan kan wi. So they went to the Judicial Committee of the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs. And yeah, wow, the only me and you're gonna say Sumija phone a Diana PSC, you know. And it was here when no so many on your gonna drew or no, they will discuss it. Mamma, yes, sir. Me free food and be free man. So when we come, we will discuss it. But let me go on. So the House granted the injunction. When the House granted the injunction about that Sebre Akwemo Japan home by say the law no agent. Of course, that is normal. That is the proper procedure. That is normal. That is the normal procedure. Because he is the sitting chief. He is the sitting chief. He has not been distilled. He has not abdicated. He has not done this. He is not mentally challenged. So you go on and then you like. So for me, it was a very good decision. It was a very good decision. But I'm curious about a quotia or no bentimi ya people betting, but as to whether she appears to be yana, you know. And also, so dear, the timbaby. Now, I've just used it to educate people on the matters of chieftaincy. And right now, you say, it is say, don't poise in a matter to a way ye be as which is it's a chief. I believe it is a chieftaincy matter. Abasa, don't poise. I stand to be educated. Don't poise. No, the man here a formina. I dance for me, don't poise. Yes, you bogisango. Or money, man here formina. And therefore, don't poise will be a substitute under formina. And therefore, if you want to distool, if you want to prefer charges against don't poise, or the back of formina judicial committee, or you can invoke Asante from Tamibia and wait perhaps a Dobaba Formena or a Dobaba Manshia. A Dobaba Formena or a Dobaba Manshia. That is the chieftaincy. But we need to respect that. Yeah, and yeah, because it's not the best. It's not the best at all. Now, and someone they buy regional house. I am Munshemuni. Some no, one the Bama in Shia. I am Munshenam Cosum Tentem one on Tentem. And some no, one the call national so chusa. I am Munshenam Cosum Tentem. And some no, one the call traditional councillor. I am Munshenam Contentem. And some no, so one the call Supreme Court. I am on so na enko intentem. Because chieftaincy is a very delicate thing. Chieftaincy is a very delicate thing. So I'm sure manam kosun tentemwa. Edinsen bebre ebeba. Yeah, obviously say guans and first, but not the bono. I'll come that crow about Mabaho, and I'll come with facts and figures. No, and easy, and yamre say Bibeka say guans in the canaba. No, one is a guans. And yes, simple. Is it that is the mistake I have been in? Say guan for the canaba. Guans no, won't be brave. Tisania okase guanfono baja bonofono. Bonofono won bebre. And it's a person when you answer a very good answer. You mentioned guan krobek because my catcher say gonja for a guans. A quapim for a guans. Latte ne bosomase latte ne ukuguanuna. My catcher say futu a guans. So if we say that guans no baja bonoa. Me no one yagene. Because the bones also, you have some people like the Asiri, Wamani, Koti, Wamani pa, Dibebi, Wamani pa, Namasa, Wamani pa. So I am using this opportunity to educate people. Mo cannot try guans the beja abonfo. I won't buy that argument. Abonfo group no be so beja guans. Guans for group so be specific. No, we don't do history about some no. Tra. Say Asante for by yache. Okay, me Obiri Boahen they won't carry. Because there are some people within the Ashanti kingdom now, like the Adanse, the Dompoase, the Yesu, the Bogisangono. No one more Hokra and Sana Santi Eba. No one more and Sana Santi Eba, like the Kumawuba. They were there before. So history ni Yegusu Kono. About money affairs and no winning one. Na Utufran. mi gu so me kire wo nyina na be ma ne na woni ma wutu fra won tu mfra won timi ga say guans beja abono. Oh, I won't agree. Be specific one which group and the bonono which group. Bonono both a weird domase and antepim domase no enyina no. Abe no antepim domase 1606 no buy. Not the baby num crowd, they have been in existence for about 200 to 300 years. Nicotine had been in existence for about 200 years. No, so okay, that's all. So next time, let's take the opportunity. Listen to me. Listen to the lectures I'm giving. Listen to the education I'm giving. Before you can frame your question well. Before you can frame your question well. Well, Mako 55 point something. I got a 1 hour. I had it. Lastly, some MPP as a mom. I've been advising MPP for atem didie no, atem didie yo, kasentwi yo, atem didie yo. Meda say history na mede mamo no na ni age ho pa nda wase. Atem didie yo. Now Mamina we so enna MPP minority for Nasepa. They have been very fantastic. Fantastic. In fact, never in the history of this country, yenya group of politicians be more opposition. Esa ye boy and same ma. Well, obviously, Kumawu Uraso people are the oldest. Well, I don't know. I'll have to do a little history. But my main so mission. You may be right. Maybe a while can you may be right. But no, me fanusa me de get deep. Untina me de agen kokobo date no buy. People who were under the impression said I can phone in no do na phone dey can buy no say that. Because some first chief cry agen kokobo. Because look, so one more time me yahu say budget na force na to force in present here no when wabo ministries be din kura sa ministries no eni ho pa o non existing ministries but ya boni dini e wo budget no blogger what's the deal? I am so much surprised about this trend of affairs. Why your budget or the parliament ministry way ye be man is kase ministry no kura ni ho some budget no cut and paste or copy but it's so e been see we are see baby that this is a record one e been see we are see baby that say budget ye no cut and paste ye budget cut and paste ministry sibia anyhow and they were able to pinpoint sir be a page way 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 a bit that and it's so serious. Then another issue was calling Sadomako letter na oyiba yenwa na ode echere wiase nyina say letter away free Minister of Energy but in the Minister for Finance a kan ya no e budgeting no entesa. It is quite serious. And I think that the MPP minority, they've done well. They've really impressed us. we share our contributions, our submissions, our education at wonderful. Upe MPP, umpe MPP, uchire MPP, utam MPP. I say, can you speak English? Yes. But for the purpose of me audience and until now here, me de profo fretry no. But I'm sorry, the purpose no say purpose no say me ye no twi. But anya se mo amonti twi no me twa mo agya. Senti na so obehwa me ya na me de profo from anti. I'm sorry. But that is the way yeah, said me, you know, until me sorry pa my brother. But echo no me de profo be frafa. Wo my idea? Wo my idea pa? Na wo so ama wo modern na wo mo anye. And you know the aspect of NDC Niyama Bisu, especially wo mo District Assembly Common Fund, they have done well. But now, Caso, NDC, this is Assembly Common Fund, send the city come by idea. IBP Nibiti, nada no come. Mentra make a mabino. Make a mabino. Metna hanye MPP communicator, many NDC so communicator. Mekasa ma ayimbe kasa eba me ho ene addition ene so please when I think that the MPP minority they've done well, but the NDC also as far as the District Assembly Common Fund send you see you know I'm comfortable. MPP should have done that. Man komo ye na sa nke bo a wanya na sa people who messed up things. People who messed up with the common fund. And omuna mona say Baumia na ma MPP for alus. Ever she say na ma Baumia na ma MPP for no alus. So please, munya akuti abona temdidie ne kasa ntwi no. Maybe yamsero, maybe be say tim yamsero. So after 31st January, no mo didi atem na amfa no mo be yede. Where will you go? What will you do? Where will you go? What will you do? Can you decide to join the winning team? And which, of course, Obiri Boahen, I believe that the winning team is the Baumia's team. Baumia is going to win. That is my personal position. You may disagree. You may disagree. Yeah, somebody has asked me about honey. Yes, may that say. In fact, as far as the Bono region now and the Bono East, no your concern. Bono Manson, honey, koti, di baby esri. Wamuno na ye wamuno wa wamanyini pa. Bono Manson, then honey, koti, di baby esri. A better bit more because it's the honey people who joined the Nsiatre. And Hina Frankfurt was around 15 something. Onokra to free Henny, a Bashan Nsiatre Yesu, and so Yasiatre no. That was 15 something. And then Hina Frankfurt, I said for Nokra to but I just said Henny was there around 13, 14. It is a meka Namasa Nameka, na mure fi Henny, and mure any debabia, mure ne fear. Mure ne fear, and Yabuapae. I mean, say history no there. Untimi and but the bottom line is that as far as the Hafo region is concerned there, it looks like the Bono Unkro Bebre Baja Hafo Kora Kuredi Kanabai. Bono Unkro Bebre Baja Hafo Kura first one about Hafono Kura now Bakan Bono Unkro Bebre. So the Kwaudiano Mediabari, I think it is fair. Let's respect the institutions. Let's respect the structures. No institutions, no, any juma. Ebe we no, ebama otumfo satehne akwaba. Oko Suriname, oko Barbados. And you know, a lot of history. So there was a slave woman be 1660. Now near dene or my revolution craba Jamaica. And then Jamaica Sikano. Jamaica Sikano. Yeah, the photo that so 1660, yes, around 1660. She was very bold. She caused a lot of uprisings in Jamaica. Into Jamaica minus Sikano Niti Nedaso. And she was an Asante. She was from the present day, Samran Asante, my present day Asante. As a Bauli for no Amakaso Mufin Sutano, on present day Asante. So Yama Asante in Akwaba. And the other day I said something, I'm a trended person, I said, Asante in a occasion, Bia, we are here. So by na no mo call KNUST no. Ntoma na o de call KNUST no. First time I ofra no. O call ho ntoma ofra ye nyina chi. Oba ya afie da no mo call KNUST no. First time ofra ne sa ntoma no. Ofra wie di ansa na wetime ofra biu. But so free Suriname no ba bedru ye no call KNUST no. Ashanti history, Ashanti culture, Ashanti traditional. Ntoma na ofra no mono wo Suriname Barbados nyina no. Mara mano kwane. Asante amamra mano kwane ma ofanko KNUST na no. Nti KNUST oko e no mono no wawie. Obetime fra for any other occasion. Ebia otenase wo manhyi afan. Or name painful to fine. But a grand deba, David. Ashanti history, Ashanti tradition, Ashanti culture. No. On to me, infra Santomano. Lastly, you all observe a mini silent for Nanajiman Kwanadu. Yes, she was a very fantastic figure. For me, Nanajiman Kwanadu nema mabibre ni J politician. Oye nipa. Nti yedanya biya yam from Subi. Because she was very bold. Mama no bebre ya politics. Na ye nim se makra bebre ni be 31st December women movement. She did well. She believes she did necessary. But until so 100%. No one shortcomings. But I admire her boldness. I admire her boldness. And on this occasion, Mumami streamline the murder of the judges, you know. The murder of the 3 judges and the retired Army General. No? Na Oshe Commissioner Omiti investigation. No? No kre sa mate kwenu kwaje safwa no every mame kunadu ajima ho. But if you read Yidane's book very well, it will not be fair to link Ajaman Kunadu to the murder of the judges and the retired. It will not be fair. Omako bisa Safwan. Safwan was in Safwan. No be aje Safwan Omako any Omanya. It will not be fair to include Ajaman Kunadu so Kahumbi, Mene Omanya again. She was bold. She was articulate. Honestly, the man Ntoma beji ene kwasi dai ni amasoro Roma Sunday mu die mano 90%. No, I think that will make it about 97 or 98%. Ntoma. Look at the history of this country. We are German Kwandu na man. Yes, a kwadwa lanchra matena ma yemu bia nso we. When he was the minister for trade, you know, Ufrasia share Ghana medana ma. Maybe I am a corner broso. So anytime I'm going to say, within, everywhere, every place. And you come on, say, who's my botai and other say me courtroom. Me co program Cassia cra, my co program everywhere bruchra, even the suitor, no media made within ntoma aye say between June, July, August, September me ko abuchira so adwuma krandu na me fa but ani minim se bia BBC no mpori ho ne krom ho da me dia me ma dwenum ene se adu ba bia nipa no panimu no wu a ba bia ofri no mo ma enkosie no ho why is panyinu wu a but I'm extremely happy said the gomba for na ma yansie aluma ha ma won kan I'm extremely happy said when chifu ma yansie kofi abrofa buzi awo enkan I'm extremely happy, but that is my perception. But I don't think that sabi man osumuna so sabi ka frachu me sabi ajekum kofo be wu a wo se be sie no wo dabi akufu adoko wu a wo se yensie no dabi yabi say wo se achipota ho na otafre. We must be happy about that legacy. Well, I'm entitled to my views. Obi also entitled to my views. Madam Ase from Hamburg, I wonder why Obiri Boahen was not allowed to hold position in Nanado's government. Well, Sadamano, no comment. The chair, me appear Belgium. The chair, George, Belgium. The chair, Kofi Ponsan, Germany. The chair, Anopoku, Muham, Germany. The chair, Sachere, Bristol. The partner, me chair, Askwadu. Me ba me second born Askwadu in the US. Askwadu me chia Askwadu so. Me chia man for bebre. Mama ya me chia ma wa fi shapa as you do birthday in land in UK. Mama ya tanoso. Me ma fi shapa. I greet all friends. Mama went to mama with me dem ka say me kan Kwame Ata me chia Kwame Ata so. African market. African market no Muhaim mechia was also mechia nipa bebre. I mean, if I want to mention names, ebe Mugunta, manim ya Gunta was say mechia mo bebre mechia obi a meso wa mantima modi wa wo Iraq no also mechia opa and we are welcome at all times, but to whom me manager no the my number, because I don't give out my number like that. Sabi nye dwe na yemi. Sabi Mr. Meka enye dwe na yemi. For some reasons, sometimes you been your number no my friend na mo kan sabi nsimuhu o kano nsimuhu to hear from you about the reality of the Bono and Asante. Why do you concentrate on Bono Asante? Why don't you want me to talk about the Gonja and Mampusi, the Dagati and the Lobbies, the Asebu people and then the Hunter people? I don't think I'll talk about the Bono Asante. No, with due respect, I won't. For some reasons, best not to. Why don't you allow me to talk about the guns and the lower and the Menya Krobo? If you the Angolans. You know, one particular group of people are Angolon. The Angolon should have been a kingdom, but unfortunately. And to me, I just thank you very much. Well, see me educated letter of administration. Maybe next week when I come. But I'm going to say, Nyamin can be so. My services are available. Like I said, the company, the Abronya investment company. Abronya investment company. We deal in a lot of things. We can assist you to get legal support. Lawyers don't advise. So it's a private company. You want to acquire a building, you want to acquire land, you want to go into business, whatever. It's our company, Abronya investment company. Shareholder. It's not me enough as a kwamba for Abronya. Abronya kwamba for Abronya, the Abronya communications. But in your way, I make us on your office or am office. Between for the BRS money attend the day it will not serve. If you want to sell your message, sell your message. Maybe I have me attend the day and come on top. Can you make on no more top? If we say attemdidie nim. Anya kwa mbafo nko. Obi a attemdidie nyia. Attemdidie nyia. Sometimes you can have a nice way to present your case. Nego ka say President Mahama nemrim ato forcing NDC for nemrim be your budget. E dey janan 30,000 shilling. I mean, you are hitting below the belt. No serious government to do that. Somebody may think that it is an attempt. Somebody also may think that straight talk. Let's say straight talk any attempt. We have a part of the world over to say there are 30,000 say abanish obesity 30,000. And that doesn't have some you could know I'm private, you know, CCTV. So you don't capture it in the budget. Well, then I hope was which